Good day, Minecraftians. Purple Mentat here with episode 4 of my FTB Pyramid Let's Play. Alright, I've got a bit of a frog in my throat and I can't seem to get rid of it, so there may be a little bit of extra raspiness and throat clearing. As you can see, I'm setting up a new resource generator system while we're still waiting on the next day to be able to turn in more quests. Don't have any torches on hand. Can't wait to replace torches with glowstone. Eventually. Soon. Anyway, my general thought was to set these up in such a way that I could easily put 4 item frames on each of them and have them all cycling through 4 different things and producing everything. However, then I realized that that's actually not going to be the best way forward. Let me show you why. I take a look at the resource generator recipe. It seems to cap out at tier 4, 1 million RF. I've got 50 million RF still in here after crafting all of these different resource generators. So I think what I'm actually going to do is set it up so that every item has its own dedicated resource generator. Because that sounds like fun to me. That sounds like the kind of overkill I like to go for. And in the long run, the plan is going to be to make sure that I have a wall of resources that generates an infinite amount of every possible resource in the pack using whatever options that I decide that are fun to use at the time. Resource generators for all of the things that we have access to now. Later on, maybe we'll add more different things. Like, we're going to need some sort of farming option, of course, if we want to have a huge wall of crop rewards or plant-based crops and such. So yeah, I think that's going to be fun. Let me know if you like the idea. If you just want to see me get on with it and only go for the goals, though, well, this probably isn't going to be the series for you. You should wait for the expert mode to come out and me to do a single player run through of that, because that's what I plan to do. Now, between episodes, I did use some bone meal on the grass over here to get myself a puppy so that I'd have some red dye to be able to make a wrench. And it looks like we had a horse spawn, which, easy leather. Woohoo! That gets me up to 4 leather now. And I think that with just... Yep, we'll be able to make ourselves a cow or a mule spawn with that later on. I gotta get this thing back on the power line. Well, I'll work on that in a bit. I'll probably do that off camera. Alright, so let's see. We wanted I want an extra utilities wrench. That one, which is just rose red and redstone and iron, which I have. Excellent. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that the resources come through the pipes. Can I have like that? And can I do this? I think this might work. Yes, it does. That works just fine. Fantastic. I want it to only go a certain direction on each one, you know? And I'm pretty sure that... Uh-oh. Pretty sure the server is saving or something, because now things aren't right-clicking. I right-click. How do I do that? I think I can block it like that? Yep. You right-click both sides to block off the connection, and now it will serpentine its way around until it finds the proper place to drop things off. I can prevent it from dropping anything in a certain place by making sure that that drawer already has the item that I want in it. I'm going to do the same thing with compacting drawers for the various metals and for redstone and lapis and that sort of thing. Yeah, and this way it won't skip any on its way around. And this is going to be a temporary setup. Later on, once we have diamond, we'll be able to replace all of this pipe with a drawer controller and a couple of slaves to the drawer controller, and that's all we'll need. And eventually we'll be able to hook that into our refined storage system, which I think we need quartz to get started with. Don't know refined storage as well as I should. We need diamond and silicon, which requires quartz. Yep, I remembered things. Alright, so where was I? Compacting drawers. Those are made with pistons and with iron, stone, regular drawers of any type. And the great thing about the compacting drawer is if I put my iron in there, I can pull it out as either blocks, nuggets, or plain old regular iron. So they're perfect for storing your metals and such. Which is why I want an awful lot of those for my resource system. Oh, did I put things away? Anyway, I'm gonna do a little bit off camera to get this in order. I think I need to get cobblestone flowing into the system. I don't think I have enough of that yet. So let's go ahead and start that up immediately. And if I... Oh, darn it. I was hoping that I'd be able to have it go straight into the transfer node. Looks like that doesn't quite work. Okay, so I'm going to need to put some form of an inventory on top of each of these. I think that there's like a single space chest or drawer or something available. I'll look into that and be right back. There we go. Isn't that nice? Nicer, I think. One problem that we're running into is we're already exceeding the capacity of some of our storage drawers, and a second problem being that we don't have a great visualization of what's available in each storage drawer. Oh, the solution that I ended up coming up with was just more storage drawers, honestly. It ended up being the best one out of all of the options that I could find. It was the least resource intensive, except for the dirt chest. That gets, except for the dirt, that gets a dirt chest from iron chests. But I don't expect that I'll likely even need to bother upgrading these transfer nodes. Because they will move fast enough, basically. What I'm expecting will end up happening here. Let me go ahead and finish getting these guys going. We need sand, gravel. We've got clay, dirt, and cobble. We need some basalt, some marble. And then we need our metals, obviously. And this way, there'll never be a time where I'm not generating a potentially vital resource. I'm just always going to have everything being made. And I like the sound of that. And we're already needing 4 more resource generators. Not a problem. I'll expand the system in a minute once we get our drawers upgraded. For that, I'm going to want to stack up gold. Because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making ourselves some upgrade templates. And every drawer plus 8 sticks gets you 2 upgrade templates. And then we use those templates with more sticks and a bit of gold, more sticks, to make ourselves some storage upgrade 3s. The 4s require diamond and the 5s require emerald, so those are going to have to wait for now. But we're going to go ahead and make a couple of these to start. And we're also going to be making, let's see, yes, the status up. Ooh, actually, we can't make the status upgrade 2 just yet. We could make the status upgrade 1, which will show us if a drawer is full, but I'm less concerned about that. I'm not 100% certain what the conversion upgrade does. I think that's something or dictionary level. The creative upgrades, of course, we don't get. Yeah, and I think that, that's just going to be all that we're going to do for now. Yeah, that'll just have to do. But we apply our upgrade, and if you shift right click, you can see all of the upgrades that are currently applied. And now we'll be able to easily add much more because we've got our this upgrade now. It can store up to 5 times as much as normal, which the normal amount it can store is 2048, and it's now going to be able to store over 10,000 blocks. Simple as that. All right, let me get the remaining set put in. I think... There is a limit to how densely I can build these in, but I think if I move this whole setup 1 block forward, which will be a little bit of work, but not a big deal, I can then just add another full row because all I need is just enough room to put a item frame on it. And I like this mostly because it's just silly levels of overkill. Also, those upgrades, let me make some more of them. They apply just as well to our compacting drawers, as you can see. Because the compacting drawers normally can only hold 16 stacks each. Well, now they're going to be able to hold 80 stacks, and that's of the most compacted version, you know? Speaking of, I should replace the cobblestone drawer with a compacting drawer, shouldn't I? Yeah, I think I should. Fantastic. There we go. And I don't believe, well, you can apply the same storage upgrade to a drawer more than once. I don't know if that does anything useful for you. I have not researched that in detail, but I don't, well, I mean, it definitely doesn't do anything useful for you because there's just a limit to how much space you're ever going to need. And I don't know if it actually stacks at all, even if it's not technically useful for it to stack. Oh, if I move these one forward, though, I'm going to have to get fancy with my pipes. That's okay. It'll be worth it. Back soon. Fueling these endeavors is using quite a bit of wood. So I've been making use of an early game manual tree farm that is doing quite a bit of good in terms of generating lots of trees quickly. How I'm doing that is using a watering can. The one I'm using is from Tiny Progressions, but you have a few options to just get free growth tick, free extra growth ticks on these saplings until they pretty much fill up an area. And then I am vein mining them down and replanting. And it's working out pretty good. Doesn't cost much in the way of hunger, and I feel like is just about the best option I've got right now in terms of without needing to take the time to actually build real infrastructure with proper power generation and get into, like, I don't know, industrial foregoing or something. And whenever I run out, I just eat baguettes from Actually Additions because they are much cheaper and better than regular bread. And I can't live off of baked apples, unfortunately. Just wanted to share that in case anyone was wondering where I was getting all of the wood to be able to produce this many drawers and such, because it's really the drawers that are the limiting factor here in terms of being able to produce all of these upgrades and such quickly. There we go. Come on. There you go. You can keep up, I promise. There we are. Now we've got enough upgrades for everybody. Make sure that I'm not doubling up on any of them, because I don't feel that that's necessary. Now, I'm not 100% certain how the compacting drawers will interact with cobblestone, given that there are so many tiers of cobblestone available. But we're going to leave it run and find out over time, aren't we? I mean, I've already got some a good bit of double compressed cobblestone. I don't know if it will ever try to make triple compressed, or if I'll need to make myself another compacting drawer to pipe the double compressed into. We'll see. Alright, I think our next step, right now, as long as I'm, you know, kind of doing my best to make the early game as insane as possible, is going to be exploring the options for making those resource generators faster and more efficient. Let's check that out. To do so, we need, at FTB upgrade. As you can see, we've got plenty of speed and power upgrades available to us, but to use any of them, we need to get redstone wire coils from Immersive Engineering. Ooh, I have not gone deep enough into Immersive to know if this is something that's going to be easily available to us. I don't think we have any form of aluminum yet. So looks like we don't have upgrades available to us yet, simply because of aluminum. And when do we get aluminium? We don't. So maybe, I guess we can generate it ourselves somehow? Oh, there it is. The EU power, 3 million EU gets you aluminium. Okay. Well then, we're gonna leave that alone. I guess that's a some other day option. And I'm gonna take a look into what to do next. Be right back. After some consideration, I think the obvious next step, in fact the overdue next step, is to get ready for next Tuesday's set of hand-ins. And to do that, we're going to need to dig into Forestry and Industrial Craft 2. Now, I believe that we're not going to be able to complete the Industrial Craft 2 approach quite yet, as we need the rubber tree sapling from Forestry to make the induction furnace. I might be wrong on that, and I'm going to do some research to see if there's a way around it, just so that we can be as ready as possible. But for right now, we're going to focus on Forestry. What we need out of Forestry is the greenhouse fan. You know what, let's just type the whole thing in there. And the ingredients of the fan aren't that tough, just needs the tin electron tube, which we make in the Thermionic fabricator with basic materials that we already have near infinite of, and the greenhouse block. This is where it gets difficult. We're going to need camouflaged paneling, which requires us to get biomass, as well as most likely some form of mob farm going so that we can get lots of red and yellow dye. And we're going to need ash bricks. This is actually pretty easy. We just need brick and ash. We've got a couple of options for making ash, but the one that I'm most excited about, let's see, we'll do, yeah, let's do 2 stacks worth, is the charcoal pile from Forestry. Now, to make a charcoal pile, you take your wood, you put it into a pile as shown, and what we're going to want to cover it with is loam, which is a fireproof block from Forestry made using clay, sand, and compost, which is just dirt and wheat. Let me harvest up some wheat here. If you're looking to do lots of this, well, I mean, you only ever need to make the loam once. I'm not even certain what other utility it has, and we're probably not going to explore it in that level of detail because we just don't need to. Clay. I'll grab a few stacks of clay. We'll toss one into the furnace to cook. Start making that loam compost first. Ooh. We need a lot more wheat. We're going to do all 32 blocks, but we can at least show you the basic here. There we go. Oh, that gives us 40 loam blocks. That's quite a few. So to make our charcoal pile, which will create both charcoal and ash, all we need to do, yeah, let's go ahead 8x4. Set down our wood piles in a, you know what? There's probably a maximum efficiency way of doing this, and it's probably not this way. We're probably going to want to make as much of a cube as possible. Let's go 4x4x2 to get our 16 blocks, our 32 blocks down. I don't think that there's a better option for, because if we reduce it to, let's see, if we reduce it to 12, 24, 36, we have a random 4 extra. Anyway, you need to cover every potential open face of the wood piles with loam, and that's going to leave us just, what's that, 8 loam blocks short. And then just before placing the last one, you need to light them and then put the last one in quickly. And then it just needs some time to burn. Let me just pop it to daytime here real quick. We'll grab our watering can, Already had one. And we'll go and get the last bit of wheat that we need to finish making the loam so that we can get the ash. Then we'll have one of the multiple bits of this challenge done. There. Got plenty of wheat to make more compost, to make more loam. There we go. Now, you don't have to use loam. Let me show you the wood pile you hit use on that in NEI. You can see that there's the charcoal pile here. You can use clay, loam, endstone bricks, or dirt. Also gravel, netherrack, and ash bricks. However, the reason I want to use loam is I'll get slightly more out of it, and it just, I don't know, for me it's fun to craft my way up a bit. I guess clay blocks would have been just as effective in this instance, because we would have gotten just as much ash, and that's what we actually want out of this. Oh yeah, and one final thing, we're going to need a flint and steel if we're going to be making a spark, aren't we? Which means we need flint, which I don't think I actually have created any of yet, but you can just craft some gravel together to get your flint. No need to dig. I don't have any iron on hand, of course. That's okay. This is why we have the wall-o stuff. Here we go. Alright. So, as mentioned, light it up. And if the fire continues and starts spreading, which it seems like it's happening. Yep, there we go. This is going to take quite a while to burn. So, just leave it. Work on other things. You'll only ever need to do this once in this pack. If you want a more sustainable and repeatable source of ash and potentially a alternative fuel source, you can also make ash by... oh, where'd it go? There it is. By burning peat in your choice of furnace. And you can get peat by creating fog earth and just leaving it near a bit of water to soak for a while. And I believe peat burns about as well as charcoal. So that's one potential option for your energy needs if that's your something that's interesting to you. Trees have been all grown, so time for a quick harvest, then back to it. Next step is going to be to make that Thermionic fabricator. Start making some electron tubes. And we're going to need to make some bronze and get ourselves a carpenter and a fermenter. I'm also going to want to make sure that I've actually got a decent forestry area ready to have all of these machines running. I've got a power line out here. You know, it'll probably be fine. I'm not planning on going deep into forestry this time through because I want to get into playing with other different mods, and I've done a ton of forestry in the past, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. Alright, so our Thermionic fabricator requires the sturdy casing, which is why we need our bronze. I'm going to go ahead and just make a stack of bronze ingots. And we also need some gold, some glass, and a chest. I was thinking ahead, I would have grabbed all these things. I thought I had some chests prepped. Guess not. That's okay. Grab things by the stack because I can. I didn't remember to grab the glass, so that's something. I'm going to go ahead and just make a few of these because I know I'm going to be using them. Bath. One Thermionic fabricator goes there. Gets power. Apply glass into the heater. Yep. Powering up. Fantastic. And then we just need, I believe it was redstone and tin. Fantastic. And then we need the liquid glass, which it's already heating up to create. Excellent. I believe that it can also, there's other types of electron tubes that can be made as well that we're likely to need in the future. But for right now, our goal is the greenhouse fan specifically, so we're not going to worry about anything except getting to that. Okay, so that provides the tin electron tubes. We need a greenhouse block, so let's start, we've got the ash bricks going. Planks, rose red, yellow. We could just do the bare minimum, or we could go for broke on actually like setting up the system. Let me know in the comments below which you'd rather see, and I'll come back to that in the future. For now, we're going to focus on getting our biomass, which means we need a fermenter and lots of compost. I can manually farm everything that I need for the compost, but it might be more fun to actually set up a little farm of some sort to keep supplying it and build a biomass producer. I'm going to do that though. I'm going to want to make sure I actually like burn the biomass I'm producing into energy. Sure, why not? Let me start getting everything together that I need to produce biomass and burn it into energy. As it turns out, burning biomass for energy requires lava, which we do not have an easy way to produce yet, and getting an easy way to produce requires resources that we do not yet have easy access to. As such, we're going to leave that off for another time. We're going to need 4 of these bronze gears to be able to make our fermenter. And we've got our machine casing and our glass. There we go. Fermenter just requires your choice of water as well as whatever you're going to ferment inside of it to create what you're after. Our goal is biomass, which I can't easily show you the recipe, but we're going to be making use of compost, any type of sapling of your choice, and water, because we really only need about 50 buckets worth. Plus... Actually, no, that's all we ever need, is 50 buckets worth. However, to do the water, we're going to make use of another mod, because I don't want to have to manually dump buckets of water into something. Don't mind occasionally adding, like, the compost. That was weird. There you go. Or the saplings. But going any further than that is a bit much for my taste. I'm going to keep using transfer pipes for now because I find them fun. Which means I'm going to want some liquid transfer node, I believe. Is that not a thing anymore? It totally is. Fluids. Okay, that explains it. We're going to need stone, bucket. Yeah, okay. No problem. I've got a couple of extra buckets that I can make use of. I've got some smooth stone. Should cook more. I should make a better furnace. What I should do. Redstone. How did I forget redstone? Well then, and if I remember right, not anymore. Okay. So we can't generate water with extra utilities, but what we can do it with is industrial foregoing. Through the water condensator, which acts basically the same way as a thermal expansion version. But what we need for that is plastic. To get plastic, we need rubber. Rubber is produced with the I think it's like tree something or other. Tree fluid extractor. That's our first step into industrial foregoing. Need a furnace, huh? Well, I'm actually going to want a couple of these, I think. I also need iron gears. This is probably overkill. Let's go with 4. 4 is a good number. And let me grab more transfer pipe. I don't think I was carrying it around with me. Oh, inventory. Oh, I was. It was on my hotbar. I'm so good at this game. Alright, so we should be able to do them. Ooh. I'm going to need to make sure I actually place them in the direction that I want them to face. There, 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 and there. Oh, you almost managed it, but not quite. There we are. That's better. We're eventually going to need some more goodies here and here. We'll get to those later. We have to get our latex processing first. Which, for the time being, means by hand dropping down some logs and letting these guys start to generate latex fluid. Alright, now, when we have our latex fluid, we can use that in the latex processing unit. Ooh. I ordered a machine frame from Thermal Expansion. I think I've got all the materials on hand. No problem, no problem. So one thermal... I lied. I do not have all the materials on hand. I used up all my tin. Now I have all the materials on hand. Fantastic. One of you. Make one of you. Make one of you. Fantastic. And this is why we needed the fluid transfer nodes, because we're going to put our latex processing unit down right there. It's the power it needs. And now we need to grab our latex out of these and put them into there. Like so. And if we want to make it slightly more efficient, we can make sure that all of these are one way in the right way so that they always search in the proper direction. There you go. I feel like I should stop and explain the way transfer nodes search. They will go to an intersection and then pick a random direction to search from there. And every time they reach an intersection, they will search in a random direction. However, if you right-click a portion of the pipe with a wrench, you will tell it not to search, not to leave in that direction. It basically blocks the search from leaving the center of this pipe that way or that way. It can only go where there aren't those bars. And when you right-click on both sides of the pipe like so, you can cause it to not connect at all. So now all of these have only one place to go, and that's into the latex processing unit, which is slowly filling up with latex. Now what we need to do is we need to get a water source going. And you saw some of this already set up over in Finn and Belgabor's base. Really didn't need 3 buckets, but that's okay. My inventory just continues filling up more and more. I don't know what happened there. That was weird. Anyway. 1, 2, 3. Eventually we'll replace this with something that will generate the water for us. In the time being, though, we're going to be producing our tiny dry rubber by hand. Oh, that takes a lot. You know what? I don't think I got the patience for that. What did we need for that water condensator? We just need 2 plastic, which is only 2 rubber. Fantastic. Oh, never mind. Every time it takes 9 tiny dry rubber for each rubber. For each dry rubber. Well, alright, so this is going to be a little bit of work by hand, but That's okay. It won't be much longer. Really didn't take very long at all to get the minimum amount of tiny dry rubber that we needed. Oh, and our furnace is currently busy. That's okay, this gives us the perfect opportunity to make ourselves a new furnace. What kind should we make? Well, the powered furnace from Actually Additions could have been could be an option. Would need, oh no, we need the black quartz for anything Actually Additions, that's right. Ender furnace would be cool, but you know, ender cores and ender alloy are an issue yet. Maybe I should visit the end soon. I guess I could just make the extra utilities furnace. I believe it is powered properly, you know, through RF. Resourceful furnace. That requires me to get more plastic. And there's, of course, always the redstone furnace from thermal expansion. Which, you know what, let's go ahead and make one of those. Yeah. It's the one that I have chosen to make for our initial powered furnace. Oops. No! Almost out of iron. Too much junk in the inventory already. It was kind of inevitable that this was going to happen, though, I suppose. And you... Already got you guys. One of you. Need a gold. No! Like I said, inevitable. There. That clears out a couple of spaces. And two of you. We'll also be able to use the redstone powered furnace, I believe, to make leather. Ooh, you know what? Let's just end all of those and do it by hand for the time being. If I remember correctly, we can get redstone furnace, cook 3 rotten flesh into 1 leather. Fantastic. Excellent, there we go. Plastic! All of this so that I can not move water by hand in buckets. I'm not lazy, you're lazy. Need another machine frame. Gonna need some pistons. I think I have some of those made up already, unless I used them all. Nope, I got some. And some iron gears. 2 more iron ingots to make those iron gears. We are prepared. 4 more iron ingots to make the machine frame. Let me know if you guys want to see me struggling through the crafting most of the time, or if you'd rather I just do that off camera. I trust that you guys can manage to craft things on your own, but sometimes my process is pretty disorganized, so I might not remember to set things up in advance all the time. And the water condensator just rapidly creates water from having water blocks around it. Oh, no, I really don't want you connected to that. I do want it connected here. Yep, and I want it connected there. Don't want it connected there. Water tank, back, check. Latex tank, top. You know, it's set up for all sides. Oh, but right now it's filling up the fermenter and making the wow, we've already got 5 of the 50 buckets that we need just from the little bit that we've put in there so far. You know, this thing would probably do well with a few upgrades. If I remember right, they're not too expensive. Yeah, oh, right. We need the resonator, which means the entire extra utilities 2 power system. And we need a block of coal. There's nothing that we can substitute for that. Never mind. Magical upgrade speed. That sounds like fun. Okay, so yeah. We just wait for the moment, but we can be patient. We can do patience. I bet that there's a better pipe available to us. I do some looking around in JEI. But our latex processing unit is now slowly getting the latex and the water that it needs. And then we can upgrade these with the block placers that we saw in Belgabor's base, because those just take droppers and more plastic. Okay, cool. We are on our way. Wow, okay, so about 4 compost and a little more than half a stack of saplings created 10 biomass. That's, wow, fantastic. What are our tank options? Rain tank? Black hole tank? That's a little excessive. And a little down the line. Portable tank. Needs to be upgraded. They can, actually, through enchanting. That is, that's interesting. How do I get my hands on the right enchantments? I guess I could try, you know, a regular enchantment table, but that'd be a bit of a mess. I wonder, do singularity tanks maintain their fluid? I do not know. Find out with me right now. Iron, because that's definitely what Finn and Belgavor were using over there, was the singularity tanks. Down, grab a bucket of water, pick up. Yes, they do. And they hold 32 buckets worth. So that's our tank of choice. Fantastic. I don't remember where we get the biomass out. Maybe the side? Let's find out. Pipe. No way I used all my transfer pipes. I'm blind again. Alright, let's see if this is where we're supposed to be pulling that out. Yes, it is. Fantastic. Oh, there's our biomass. Slowly but surely. Now I just need to fill up you, and you know what? We're gonna need a second one of you. Our singularity tank, that's what it was. And I have gone way over time, as is basically Purple Mentat tradition. So thanks very much for joining me. Hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If so, leave me a thumbs up. I don't know if it'll work, but we're gonna try. If not, leave me a thumbs down. Tell me what you'd like to see me do better. Either way, you want to see more of this, please click subscribe. In between episodes, I'm probably going to get a block placer here and here to automate the placing of my oak wood. Next time, maybe we will automate the generation of the saplings and the logs that we need to feed the latex process, the tree fluid extractors, and the fermenter. And then sometime in the future we will be figuring out a way to let me know if you want to see me build a biomass power system. If you do, I will. If not, I'm not going to bother, and we'll look at other power options later on when we get there. And next time I think that I'm going to be getting ready for the industrial craft stuff, because now we've got our tiny dry rubber to make latex with. You know what? I really put some sort of crafting thing here. Yeah. So that I can do the crafty things. Like so. Yeah, because now that we've got latex production happening, we're pretty much all set. You know, I bet I could make the tiny dry rubber into a dry rubber in a compacting drawer. Let's find out. Yes, we're extending the time even further because I thought of an interesting thing and I must attempt it. What do you mean I don't have pistons on me? Did I put those away to try to free up space and, you know, be a responsible Minecrafter? Yes, I did. Nope. Nope. Doesn't work. Darn. Oh well, so much for that idea. Anyway, if you want to see more of this, click subscribe, and I'll see you next time.